Hello, in this lecture we are going to talk about some of the expected questions from history. We'll be discussing these topics today. The first is Jagannath Rath Yatra, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Kesariya Stupa, World Heritage Site Dholavira, Basava Jayanti and Guru Tegh Bahadur, and lastly Mahavir Jayanti. These are very important. So let's get started with the first, that is Jagannath Rath Yatra. You see, the reason why this is in news is because the Vice President of India greeted the nation on the eve of the Jagannath Rath Yatra. Okay. Now, popularly, this Jagannath Rath Yatra is also known as the Festival of Chariots. Okay. The Rath Yatra festival is dedicated to which god? To Lord Jagannath. To Lord Jagannath, along with his sister, that is goddess Subhadra, and elder brother Balabhadra. So please don't get confused in the exam. It is not just Lord Jagannath, it is also his sister Subhadra and elder brother, that is Balabhadra. The festival basically commemorates the Lord Jagannath's annual visit along with his siblings to which temple? To the Gundicha temple. Okay, this Gundicha temple is situated where? It is situated in Puri. Okay, now this entire thing is it lasts for 9 days, so we can simply say that it is a 9-day long event. The annual festival is celebrated on the second day of the Shukla Paksha, which is bright fortnight, in the Ashada month, that is the third month according to the traditional Uriya calendar. So please remember, this is not as per the Georgian calendar or any other. This is as per the Uriya calendar. Okay, and the month is Ashadha month. That is the third month. Then Lord Jagannath's chariot, which is very famous, is also known by Nandi Ghosha. That is the name of the chariot. So, of course, Subhadra's and Balabhadra's chariots have also got names, but what is most important is that you remember Lord Jagannath's chariot's name, that is Nandi Ghosha. Okay. Now, this is all pertaining to the Jagannath Yatra. This is very important and famous. But along with that, since we're talking about the Yatra, it's also important that we know a little bit about the Jagannath temple. So the Jagannath temple is a temple which is dedicated to Lord Jagannath. Now, who exactly is Lord Jagannath? Lord Jagannath is regarded to be a form of Vishnu. Okay, what is the place? The place is Puri. This is Odisha. Now, the present temple was basically rebuilt from the 10th century onwards on the site of an earlier temple, and it begun by the king who was a part of which? The Eastern Ganga dynasty. Okay, Eastern Ganga dynasty. So remember this. And what is the name of the king here? The name of the king is Chodganga Deva. Right? Now, unlike the stone and metal icons found in most Hindu temples, the reason why Jagannath temple is regarded that important is because here the image of the Lord Jagannath is made up of wood. Please remember, very, very important. Okay. And this wood is ceremoniously replaced every 12 or 19 years by an exact replica. But the important thing here is that you remember that unlike all the others, here the idol is made of wood. So these are the important points pertaining to the Rath Yatra, and the Jagannath temple. Okay, so these are all the important points before you. The same way how we're going to discuss is the next topic, that is Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Now, Bal Gangadhar Tilak or Tilak is very important. Of course, all Indian nationalists are very important, but Tilak is especially important for the simple reason that Prime Minister recently paid tributes to Tilak on his birth anniversary. Tilak was an Indian social reformer and also an activist. Okay, so activist and reformer. He was one of the prime architects of modern India and also one of the strongest advocates of the concept of Swaraj. Please don't forget this and don't get confused with Gandhi here. The first one of the first most architects of modern India and the strong advocates of the concept of Swaraj, which is basically self rule, was not Gandhi but Tilak. Okay. Now, the another important point that you have to understand is that British government has termed him as the father of India unrest. So remember this, and his followers gave him the title of Lokmanya. Lokmanya Tilak. Lokmanya basically means that one who is immensely respected by the people. Lok here means people, and Manya is those who that the people really look up to this person. Okay, so this is about the person history of Tilak. Political career of Tilak, if we have to understand, you simply need to understand that he was in strong opposition to the moderate views of the party, that is INC, pertaining to self-rule. He maintained that the simple constitutional agitations or bringing constitutional reforms was not enough against the British. So following this, the partition in the 1905 by Lord Curzon was something where Tilak wholeheartedly supported the Swadesi movement. So Swadesi movement was where boycotting of the British goods were done. So Tilak was an important personality pertaining to this movement. Okay, and due to this fundamental difference in outlook, Tilak and his supporters came to be known as extremists, or you can also say as the extremist wing of the Indian National Congress Party. Please understand, he was against the moderate views and his ideology is termed amongst the category of extremists in INC, that is Indian National Congress. Okay. Now, since we're talking about Tilak, you must have some input or some information regarding his literature. Very important. So Tilak basically published two newspapers, that was Maharatha, this was in English, and Kesari, which was in Marathi, right? He also wrote Gita Rahasya during his imprisonment in Burma. So these are the important things that you must remember. Also, Tilak was actively participating in All India Home Rule League, okay, along with Annie Besant. And Tilak is also a very famous personality, especially in Maharashtra, for the simple reason that the proposed grand celebrations of festivals like Ganesh Chaturthi and Shivaji Jayanti was something which was started by Tilak himself. Okay, he believed that these celebrations could bring a sense of unity amongst people, and this would inspire nationalist sentiments amongst Indians. So please remember festivals such as Ganesh Chaturthi and Shivaji Jayanti. So these are all the important bits pertaining to Tilak that you need to remember. Let's get to the next concept. The next concept is the Kesariya Stupa. Very important again. Firstly, you need to understand that where is it located. So it is located in Bihar. The world famous Buddhist stupa at Kesariya was recently heavily waterlogged after rainfall in the catchment areas of the which river? The Gandhak river. So remember this bit. The nearest river to the stupa is the Gandhak river. Kesariya Stupa is basically located in the East Champaran district of Bihar near Patna, and the local people call this stupa as Devala. Devala basically means the house of God. And Kesariya Stupa was discovered in the year 1998 through excavation by the Archaeological Survey of India. It has a circumference of almost 400 feet and a height of 104 feet. Okay, remember this bit. It is said to be the tallest and the largest Buddhist stupa in the world. So what did I say? Tallest and the largest Buddhist stupa, not in India but in the world. This is very important. The original Kesariya Stupa probably dates to the time of Ashoka. And since we're saying Ashoka, we're referring to basically the time period here around 250 BCE, as the remains of the capital of the pillars of Ashoka was something which was discovered here. In ancient times, Kesariya was under the rule of Maurya and the Licchavis. The discovery of gold coins bearing the seal of the famous Emperor Kanishka of the Kushan dynasty further establishes the ancient heritage of Kesariya. So if this comes in the exam, some of the dynasties that you need to remember are firstly starting with Ashoka, then the Mauryas, the Licchavis, then last the Kushan dynasty. Here it was Kanishka. So this basically establishes the heritage of Kesariya Stupa. The current stupa dates to the Gupta dynasty, which is basically 200 AD to 750 AD, and it may have been associated with the 4th century ruler, that is Raja Chakravarti. But please remember these are very important. And along with this, some extra information that you also should have pertaining to the stupa is the two great foreign travelers, that is Fahin and Hunsang, had also visited this place and have written informative accounts about the same Kesariya Stupa. So remember Fahin and Hunsang, both of these were the Chinese travelers. So this is all the information about Kesariya Stupa, very important. Let's get to the next concept, which is the World Heritage Site Dholavira. You see, Dholavira is a very famous site, especially when we're talking about the Indus Valley civilization. Dholavira is the first site of the ancient Indus Valley civilization in India to get the tag of being a World Heritage Site. Okay, WHS's World Heritage Site. After Mohenjo-daro and Harappa in Pakistan and Rakhigarhi in Haryana, that is in India, Dholavira is the 5th largest metropolis of the IVC, that is Indus Valley civilization. It is the 5th one, okay, but the first to be recognized as a World Heritage Site, right? Now, UNESCO has termed Dholavira as one of the most remarkable and well-preserved urban settlements in the south of Asia. This is UNESCO. It was discovered in the year 1968. It is located on a hill rock near present-day Dholavira village in the Kutch district. And the state that we're talking about is Gujarat. Alright, its uniqueness. What is the uniqueness of Dholavira? Its uniqueness basically lies in some of its characteristics. That is, Dholavira is dealing with a water management system. It has multi-layered defense mechanisms. Extensive use of stone is found here in the construction, and it also has special burial structures. Right? So remember these points, very, very important. Okay. Now, since we're talking about it here being a World Heritage Site, you must understand a little something about World Heritage Sites. You see, World Heritage Site is a location with an outstanding universal value. Okay, it signifies exceptional cultural or natural. So what are we saying? Cultural or natural significance of common importance for present and also for the future generations of all humanity. This is embodied in the international treaty called Convention Concerning the Protection of the World Cultural and Natural Heritage. This is adopted by UNESCO in the year 1972. So these are the important bits that you need to remember. Okay. Now, you see, the next question that should come to your mind is, what are the common, selection criteria for a site to become a World Heritage Site? So there are actually 10 of them. You can Google them out, or I'll discuss some of them with you. It basically that the site should represent a masterpiece of human creative genius. Okay. Then it should represent an important interchange of human values over a period of time or within a cultural area of time. Okay. Then it should be an evidence of unique cultural tradition or an outstanding example of traditional human settlement. It should contain areas of exceptional natural beauty or aesthetic importance. The basic point here is that you need to understand that both of these are what is dealing with these 10 criteria selection points. It basically should have a cultural importance and as well as a natural importance. Okay, so this is all pertaining to Dholavira and it being a first World Heritage Site in India. Now the next one is the Basava Jayanti. Very important. Okay, some of the bits that you need to understand here is, firstly, this is the picture of Basava. Basava Jayanti is very important because Prime Minister recently paid tributes to Jagadguru Basavanna. Okay, Jagadguru Basavanna. Another name for the same personality is Jagadguru Basaveshwara. Okay, Basava Jayanti. Jayanti, as the term itself suggests, the first thing that you need to understand here is that who exactly was this personality. Okay, so Basavanna is basically a 12th century poet and philosopher and was the founder of the lingayatism. Right? He founded the Anubhava Mantapa. Very important. Anubhava Mantapa. What exactly is this? This is often claimed to be the first parliament of the world established by the Jagadguru himself. Okay. The Sharana movement he presided over attracted people from all castes and, like most strands of Bhakti movement, produced corpus of literatures, the Vachavans. Very important. So the literature here is called the Vachanas or Vachanans, however you say it. Okay. So this is all about Basavanna. But the area that we're talking about is that he belonged to Karnataka, Bijapur district. What are the main teachings of the Jagadguru here? Very important. The main teachings are Arivu. Arivu basically means true knowledge. Then Achara. Achara means right conduct. Okay. And the third is Anubhava. Anubhava basically means divine experience. So these are the important three teachings. You have to understand them. And also he advocated for a path that leads to the approach of, Linga Yoga, which is basically union with divine. It is called Linga Yoga. Okay. This comprehensive discipline encompasses notions of bhakti, that is devotion, jnana, that is knowledge, and kriya, that is action. Okay, all of these three should be in a well balanced manner. And since we're saying that this is an important personality, you have to also remember that he was also a social reformer. Social reformer in the sense that he believed basically in a free society, and free society basically being free from the evils of, let's say, the caste system, equal opportunity for all, and preached about the importance of manual hard work. Okay. Now, the reason why this is also very important is because recently the Karnataka government has said that they will be setting up this Anubhava Mantapa. So we have to know a little bit about this also. You see, this Anubhava Mandapa, loosely translated, is as a forum of experience, okay, an academy which included Lingayat mystics, saints, and philosophers. So Anubhava Mandapa is going to be established in, a new building is going to be established, which is basically going to represent socio-economic and political strata, including religious and spiritual principles, along with personal problems, okay. And this was, as you've understood here, it was regarded as the first and the foremost parliament of India, where people used to, sit together and discuss the socialistic principles of a democratic setup. So all those discussions were basically written in the forms of, like we discussed, vachanas. Very important. Okay. So the Chief Minister of Karnataka has laid the foundation stone for the new Anubhava Mandapa, and that new Anubhava Mandapa is going to be set up in Basavakalyan. That is the name of the place. So remember this, very important. Okay. Now let's get to the next concept that we have to study, which is about Guru Tegh Bahadur. Guru Tegh Bahadur is an important concept that can definitely come in the exam, because this is pertaining with the philosophy of Sikhism, but also because the Prime Minister, addressed from the Red Fort to mark the 401st birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur. Okay, Guru Tegh Bahadur, a little bit about him. He was born in the year 1621 and died in 1675, right? Who exactly was him? He was born in Amritsar, and he was the sixth. He was not the sixth. He was born in Amritsar on the 21st April 1621 to Mata Nanki and Guru Hargobind. Guru Hargobind, that is the father of Guru Tegh Bahadur, was the sixth Sikh Guru. He raised the army against the Mughal and introduced the concept of warrior saint. So a little bit about Hargobind. He raised the army against Mughals and introduced the concept of warrior saints. Right? This is all the important bit about his family. Okay. Now, the important thing here is that Guru Tegh Bahadur himself is one of the 10 Gurus. Okay. You must know the 10 Gurus first. Let's see. Firstly, the first Guru, of course, is Guru Nanak Dev. Then it's Guru Angad Dev. Then it is Guru Amar Das. Then Guru Ram Das. Then the fifth one is Arjun Dev. Then Guru Hargobind, about who we just studied here. Then Guru Har Rai. Then Guru Har Krishan. Then it's Guru Tegh Bahadur himself, and the last one was Guru Gobind Singh. Okay, so these are the important 10 Sikh Gurus, very important, and one of them, of course, is Guru Tegh Bahadur. For that matter, he is the 9th Sikh Guru. Okay, so you see, Guru Tegh Bahadur, he founded, the reason why he is extremely famous is because he founded Anandpur Sahib. Right? This is the bit that you need to remember from the exam's purpose. Now, since we're talking about Sikhism, Sikh literature is basically called Adi Granth. Adi Granth is believed to be by the Sikhs the abode of the eternal Guru, and for that reason it is also known to all Sikhs as what? Guru Granth Sahib. So if it comes in the exam as Adi Guru, don't get confused, it's the same thing, okay? And another literature that is very important is Dasam Granth. Dasam Granth is controversial in the Panth because of the questioning concerning its authorship and composition, but nevertheless remember the name, okay? Now, Guru Tegh Bahadur was executed in Delhi under the orders of which Mughal emperor? That is Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Right? So this is an additional bit. Please do remember. So these are all the important things pertaining to Sikhism and also pertaining to Guru Tegh Bahadur. The next concept that we have to discuss is the Mahavir Jayanti. Okay. Now, Mahavir Jayanti, the Prime Minister greeted the people on Mahavir Jayanti, recalling the noble teachings of Bhagwan Mahavir. Especially the emphasis is on the teachings, that is peace, compassion, and brotherhood, or you can also say fraternity. Now, what is Mahavir Jayanti basically? Okay, so Mahavir Jayanti is basically one of the most auspicious festivals in Jaina community. This day marks the birth of Vardhaman Mahavira. Vardhaman Mahavira. He was the one of the 24th. You see, under Jainism there are tirthankars. Tirthankaras are who? Tirthankaras are called the the Gurus. Gurus in the sense that they are the founders of the faith. Founders of faith. They are a total of 24. And Guru Vardhaman here is regarded as the 24th and the last tirthankar, okay, who succeeded the 23rd. So the 23rd one is Parshavanath. Similarly, one of them is also Rishabhadeva, but you can obviously go through the 24 names of the Tirthankars. But since we're concerned about Vardhaman Mahavira here, we're discussing him. So according to Jaina texts, Lord Mahavira was born on the 13th day of the bright half of the moon in the month of Chaitra. So remember this. As per the as per the calendar that we follow right now, Mahavir Jayanti is usually celebrated during the month of March or April. But Chaitra month is something that you need to remember. So a procession is called with the idol of Lord Mahavira, which is called the Rath Yatra. Reciting Jain prayers, statues of the Lord are given a ceremonial bath, which is called Abhisheka. So ceremonial bath is called Abhisheka, right? So this is the important bit about the Jayanti and how it is done. But since we're talking about the Jaina community, it is very important you understand a little bit about their philosophy. So what exactly is Jainism? You see, the word Jainism comes from the term Jina. Jina is somebody who is a conqueror. Okay. So tirthankars are the founders of the faith. Okay. They are also called the ford maker, one who is able to ford the river to cross beyond the perpetual flow of earthly life. Jainism basically attaches utmost importance to the values that we just discussed here in the very beginning, that is peace, compassion, and brotherhood. These three are some of the most important, ideals of the school. Right now, if you have to choose in the exam, please understand that all these three are equally important, but the utmost stress is on ahimsa or non-violence. Very important. To such an extent that even Mahatma Gandhi, took great amount of took great amount of inspiration from Jainism and Jaina's texts, and that is why he also wrote a lot about non-violence or ahimsa himself. So Gandhi was also influenced by this school of philosophy, right? Then something about Jainism, it preaches five great vows, which is ahimsa, satya, asteya, that is non-stealing, then aparigraha, which is non-attachment, and the last one is brahmacharya. Okay, so very important. These are all the important things pertaining to the school of Jainism, and from all of these, you can simply understand that Jainism is also called a religion of self-help, in the sense that there are no gods or spiritual beings that will help human beings. It does not condemn the Varna system. The entire focus here is on the founders of the faith. The teachings of those founders of the faith is what is accepted by the entire community. So these are all the important concepts that we had to discuss today. I hope this was informative. Thank you for watching.